What? So, guys, no one's here just yet. Maybe you guys want to rewind to this time, if anything. But hopefully everyone's doing well, doing great, doing fine, doing fantastic. I'm actually feeling a little fantastic myself. I don't know why I used that word in particular. I mean, I could have said amazing or spectacular, but I'm doing great. I actually just finished recording up one of my newest. What's good, Triangle Guy? I just actually finished recording one of my latest videos. It's not going to be a what if, it's going to be more of an analysis. I feel like a lot of people kind of like the analysis, so I like to do a little balances here and there. So a little analysis, a little what if. And I guess, I'm just here just to, breathe a little because honestly, I just feel like work. What? Reed Richards. That's funny. I like that. Um, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I hope you guys, both of you guys, are doing great as well. But yeah, I'm just saying, because I think the hardest part when it comes to actually making my videos and stuff is just getting the recording out the way. Because I swear I can make a whole video in itself when it comes to just my outtakes. Because I'm like, bro, like, can I get this right? Because every time there's like either I live like on the eighth floor and there's like nine floors in my building, so there may be some baby crying right above me, which is crazy because we have concrete ceilings, so I don't know how that's possible, but I don't know what they're doing to that baby. But it's a little difficult sometimes when I have to make the outtakes, because usually it'll probably like this one is gonna be a little bit longer. So usually it's like maybe like a 20-minute video, but I swear I'll be recording for like an hour and a half, and it's just like 40 minutes of just outtakes, But what's good? Oh, what's good, everybody? Ghost, Tricky Wiki, and Triangle Guy, you 2008, all that good stuff. Have I seen the Dispatch Game starring Aaron Paul? I have not, honestly. I have not seen that at all. I mean, is it new? Because I'll be honest, like when it comes to the actors in the Breaking Bad averse, like I don't want to say that they're bad or anything, but it's just like I would watch it just because I'm like, oh snap, there's Aaron Paul, that's cool, But some of the actors are just not as awesome as you may think they are, Like for example, Bryan Cranston, he's great, he's cool, But again, I don't know if you guys seen that show, The Lawyer. I mean, the Your Honor. He's basically like kind of a watered down Walter White in that one, and it very much shows. Aaron Paul, like, yeah, I seen him in a few Black Mirror episodes, Westworld. He was in that Need for Speed movie at one point, and I'm like, I don't know if Aaron Paul, I don't know if he's actually a good. I don't know if I'd consider him like a. I don't know if I'd consider Aaron Paul a good actor. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe, same thing like with, the kid who plays Walter Jr. Like I think I seen him in one other movie, and it was like I just used it for footage, and I'm just like, I don't know if he's a good actor, but hey, they struck gold with when it came to making the Breaking Bad show, so I'll give them that. But on the other hand, you have Bob Odenkirk, he's awesome. You have Giancarlo Esposito. I mean, even though Giancarlo Esposito plays the same character in everything that he's in, from the Thunder, I mean, was it the Thunderbolts, the Captain America movie, to Gen V, to whatever, he's always Gus, but he's always great. Um, oh, I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't play little Telltale games. I don't like. I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I don't know. Maybe it's the cell shading. Maybe it's the fact that you don't really do much. But for me, Telltale games are like, yeah, I think I played like a Batman and a Walking Dead one, like back in the day, and I was just like, this is not for me. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, So as far as actors go, like, but speaking of which, I am genuinely curious on this new Vince Gilligan show, Pluribus, whatever that is, with Ray Seahorn. I still don't know what it's about. I mean, something about that a woman has to save the world from happiness or something. And I'm like, huh, that's kind of weird. And I just like the fact that she doesn't. You don't, when you see her, you don't think Kim Wexler again. She honestly kind of gives off Skylar White vibes, in my opinion. But I'm very excited for that. I actually can't. I'm like, oh man, it's coming very, very soon, actually. So I'm looking forward to that. What's going on here? Merging your what if Mike went after the Salamanca's video? Why do you think Mike Mike would have killed Nacho. I really don't think he would. I'll be honest. I don't really watch my what ifs after I put them out. But remembering the storyline, I think Mike, his entire family was killed by the Salamancas, so he wanted to get revenge, and he just maybe yeah, okay, I remember now. He wanted to get revenge, and seeing Hector Salamanca right there and Nacho standing in front of him, he was just like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like that I think that was the inspiration for that video when I made it. He was just like, I don't care. Like who the fuck I don't ooh, Nacho, okay, yeah, we had business, but at the same time, my entire family's dead. And this is my only shot at revenge. And I'm gonna take it. And and if it had to be with Nacho, so be it because I feel like when it comes to Mike Ehrmantraut, again, guys, he's not Batman. You know what I mean? He's just an old guy, and maybe sometimes, maybe like yeah, he has a code, but I think we all know that his code is deeply flawed. You know what I mean? What? I think you miss with that one. Mike wouldn't do that. Hey, well, who knows what Mike would? Who knows what anybody would do when their family killed? You know what I mean? Like a person with nothing to lose. Why would you still have a code at that point? You know what I mean? So that's the kind of thought process I would have. I don't think, like imagine put yourself in that situation. Like if somebody was if I don't know, a coworker was standing in the way of you getting your revenge and you only had one shot to get it, would you take it or would you just, oh man, I can't, I have respect for my coworker, even though my entire family was slaughtered? I'm gonna be honest, if it was me, there's not too many things that are gonna stop me from doing what I need to do, including a coworker. You know what I mean? And with Nacho, it's like, again, yeah, I mean, he was probably innocent or, like the best of the worst, but let's be real here. It's not, I don't know, man. That's just me. I mean, again, I mean, hey, hit or miss when it comes to some of these scenario types, but these are kind of like what I would imagine. You know what I mean? So, hey, not everyone's gonna get it, or not everyone's gonna like it, or people may disagree, but that's just kind of how I see it anyway. But hey, that's just me. What we talking about here? Story time. What the fuck? Can you do a story time where Walter Jr. hunts Jesse and joins the DEA after the story ends? You know what's so funny? That's really, really, really funny. Who are you? Jalman 67. Um, I have kind of it's not necessarily a what if. It's kind of be like a story pitch for like the next Breaking Bad spinoff, and that right there is very similar to what I expected to be because I talk about this almost in every live. But if I had the opportunity, or if I feel like there's could be one more spinoff in Breaking Bad just to kind of complete a trifecta, because let's be real, El Camino wasn't really this is a Jesse story. It took place over a span of like a day, and at the end of the day, it was kind of like, well, we could all assume what the ending would have been. Um, I feel like, because you had Breaking Bad, which is basically Walter's story, Better Call Saul, which is Saul and Gus's story, and also Mike's, I guess. And I feel like Jesse should have his own spinoff, and that spinoff could be Jesse's story, Skyler's stories, even Kim's story, and how everything kind of bookends. My biggest issue is trying to figure out whether Jesse lives or dies. But I really think it would kind of go something. I think it would go something like this. So imagine this, guys. Close your eyes for a second. We pick up in the streets of Alaska. There's a carpenter, a woodworker, if you will. You see him working on wood, but at the same time, when he comes home, he comes home to a wife and a stepchild. A child. And maybe has a kid of his own coming soon. Then um, let's see. Then maybe one day, I don't know, trouble finds him. Maybe there's a burglary in his house or something like that. Whatever the case is, that burglary would make the news, and at this time we're in the age of the internet, because maybe it's like 10 years from Jesse going to Alaska. That news makes it to the internet. Maybe Walter Jr., who's kind of like a junior detective, he's just scrolling the internet looking for any cases, and this little small break-in, home invasion, murder, whatever the case is, makes the news. Walter Jr. notices the guy looks eerily similar to Jesse Pinkman, Maybe he brushes it off, but maybe he can't stop thinking about it. He brings this news to his mom, who's basically kind of like a nervous wreck. And next thing they decide to take a shot in the dark, go to Alaska. But at the same, and you know, we go to Alaska. Walter, it's like this cat and mouse game with Walter Jr. and Jesse, because Jesse doesn't know that he's being tracked by Walter Jr. and Jesse at the same time is just trying to live a normal life, and everything kind of comes ahead when, I don't know, let's say Walter Jr. actually catches Jesse in some random form of events. He gets extradited back to Albuquerque, who happens to be his lawyer, but Kim Wexler. And then, I don't know, something probably happens that way. Something kind of happens like that. So who's to say? Who's to say what happens when? Oh man, somebody. Ooh, man, touch grass, bro. That's all I gotta say. Touch some grass. That is wild. Okay, now I think the Breaking Bad universe is perfect. I think they should not touch it again. That's your opinion. Everyone has one. That's fine. I mean, we some would agree that the Breaking Bad universe was perfect when it ended, but then there was Better Call Saul. Then there was El Camino. Then for some reason there was the show Slippin' Jimmy. So I mean, it's never. I mean, be it can only be ruined if it's not in the right hands. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I would feel about that. It'll be a mini series or a movie. I don't know. I would prefer it to be a mini series, maybe like an 8 episode mini series. Every episode's maybe like an hour long, and it just ends like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Jay Bussin. Oh, appreciate the hundreds. Appreciate all of that. Everyone in the chat also, guys. Please, 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 if you could, leave a like on the video. I mean, leave a like on the live just to kind of boost the algorithm. Give me some hearts. Give me all that good stuff. Hello to everybody who's there and everyone who's watching. But yeah, so that's my little pitch, and I think I'm gonna turn that into a video, and then it kind of let's see where it goes. Now the big question I guess everyone would be asking: will Jesse die? I don't know. Maybe he's sitting in jail with Walt. Maybe he's sitting in jail with Saul, or maybe he doesn't go to jail. Maybe him and Junior finally have a conversation with each other, and he can understand what he did. It's been 10 years on, and he's like, "Yo, can I just live?" You know what I mean? He has a kid on the way. He has a step kid. Blah blah blah. But maybe Walter Jr. is gonna be like, "You took that from me." Or maybe Walter Jr. might see himself in that position as well, from the stepkid to the pregnant wife, and then he sees Jesse like, oh man, I'm just gonna be repeating the cycle, and then he just stops. You know what I mean? So it can kind of go either way. Oh man, appreciate it, guys. Love the hearts, love it all, love it all, love it all. Um, but yeah, so that would be cool. But I guess my next big question would be in certain situations is why what even though El Camino wasn't necessary for Breaking Bad, I enjoyed it. Yeah, El Camino was fine. You know what I mean? It was basically a bonus episode of Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? Like that, because it takes place immediately after a Breaking Bad. And the only thing that I really don't like about El Camino, and I don't know, I think even the Vince Gilligan and the creators of the show said the same thing. The only thing I didn't like is the fact that Jesse's teeth were so white. Like it was just like it really took me out sometimes. I'm just like, wow, this guy. And he also looked like he gained weight. You know what I mean? I was like, which is fine. Hey, everyone ages. El Camino was unexpected, but everyone ages. But I was like, huh, Jesse, he looks a little more heavier for someone who was locked inside of a hole eating Ben and Jerry's or rats or whatever the fuck he was eating. So that's just that. Oh yeah, and Todd too. I mean, Fat Todd really didn't bother me because, again, let's just say, I don't know, between in during the flashbacks, it could have just been like, okay, hey, this is taking place over a span of months. Maybe they're living good, they're eating good. You know what I mean? They got millions of dollars now, so maybe they're like, yo, give me the caviar, give me the truffle butter, and all this other. You know what I mean? So that to me never really bothered me. You know what I mean? I like this. I liked a lot of scenarios. The only thing I also the only thing I really didn't like as well when it comes to El Camino is just the fact that it's like, show somebody, and and a part of me gets it, but a part of me is just like, come on, man, you could have showed anything. But what do you show? A flashback with Jane, which Okay, but you could have shown, hey, here's Skylar Jr., Holly, like a couple years, like a little title card, basically saying 10 years later. That's what could have been said, and then just showed like, hey, what everyone's doing, which is also another video idea that I plan on doing very soon. So, shh. What else we got here? Jesse's beard was also longer. Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, so it was a bunch of those. I mean, it was a bunch of that took me out. I mean, kind of, but you settle into it relatively quickly. Like I think the moment he gets to Badger and Skinny Pete's house, and he's taking a shower and he shaves and stuff, you kind of just you settle back into what's going on. But it would have been pretty cool just to see Jesse just, running around with the beard and long hair. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is at this point. Jesse Pittmans was doing Fargo. He didn't have time, but blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and it's funny too because I mean, honestly, out of all the actors, speaking of going back to all the Breaking Bad actors and stuff like that, Jesse Plemons, fuck man, that guy, he can act. Like honestly, like he just has this presence about him where it's just like, man, I would watch him with whatever he's in. I think they just him and fuck, I forgot the actress's name, but he just made a movie actually with like detailing some alien plot that I really really want to watch. So that's that's what it is, man. That is what it is. What is it? Earn Empire. I'm cooking meth. I'm cooking. Yeah, Jesse. He's yeah. Honestly, I can't think of anything that Jesse Plemons is bad in. To be real with you, and I'm just happy that he was in Breaking Bad. What else we got here? Let's see. Rest in peace to Robert Foster, who played Ed the Disappear, the vacuum shop manager. Let's see. He was the only good part about El Camino. That is very true. I mean, that is very true. But at the same time, he was like a million years old too, so I wasn't really exactly surprised. It's just kind of like, damn, he's oh fuck, he died. You know what I mean? It was just like, well, yeah, I get it, Robert. Just give the top tier best actor the best writing. That's the end. They're all set. That's the end of comment. Yeah, it's only common sense. Yeah, that's true. Um, uh, yes. Let me see. Let me hear everyone's. Yeah, let me hear everyone's favorite scene in El Camino. Let me read it in the comments because we can all chop it up with about that for a second. Walter's head was enormous. I'll say it too. MT. I'll say it because Walter's head. It was just like, huh. So that's what you did. You know what I mean? It was like, damn. You honestly could have just had a different scene. Maybe a scene with Walter having hair, and that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, or him or them like detailing like something, maybe Walter had a hat on or you know what I mean? It could have been anything, but just and the fact that they showed it in a long extended shot where it was just like boom, hey, we're proud of this giant fucking mega mind dome he had. Like that was wild to me, but I digress. What else we got here? Let's see. Walter's dead or in prison. Then Walter's dead or in prison. Yes, yeah. The duel scene. Yeah, the duel scene. That was art right there. To be honest with you, that right there, just everything about it. The hand in the pocket. The fact that especially when you rewatch it, and you just notice that he never takes his hand out of his pocket. Like it was awesome. But the villain needed work because I was like, are they gonna like towards the very end, like the guy Neil Candy and he was talking to his little underling, he got right up to his lips and he was just like, I was like, bro, what are y'all gonna kiss? Like that was strange to me. Like I genuinely didn't get it, but I was like, hey, that's fine. Jesse driving in himself has a great. That was cool. That was a good ending too. Like the ending where Jesse was driving by himself, and it would have been cool just to kind of have like a fade scene. I mean, I guess anybody can do it with editing, but you see him in the beginning of the movie with him driving all manically, all disheveled, and then you see him towards the end of the movie where he's all clean cut in Alaska, got a different background, and just smiling for the first time. So there's that as well. Let's see. He should have just left. Yeah, he should have had a fedora. Yep, I agree. Have I watched The Dog Soldiers? Nope, never even heard of it to be honest. I like the last interaction with his parents. He felt like like an appropriate call. Yeah, It would have been cool. Like honestly, I think a cooler scene, and it could have been fucking anybody because really no one remembers. But I could imagine like, what if when Jesse actually broke into the house, who was in there? His younger brother Jake. And they had a conversation. And Jake maybe was just like, after Jesse took the two guns and he seen Jesse and he was just like, kind of gave him the same courtesy that Jesse gave him back in the day after stealing the joint, and he's just like, I didn't see nothing. I love you, Jesse. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean? It would have been that would have been really cool. Just because again, who the fuck is Jake? You know what I mean? Like he has no development at all. He's in one episode, and he's just a nothing character. So it would have been cool just to have that development. That would have been honestly perfect. You know what I mean? That would have made El Camino a lot better because then you would have seen this brotherly conversation instead of, oh, like, oh, he's in space camp. Oh, he's in band camp. Oh, he's on the moon. You know what I mean? It just didn't make sense to me. Um, let's see. Apparently, yes. Let's see. Do you think Jesse is smarter than people give him credit? Of course, Jesse's smart. Yeah, especially now. Like, I think season four Jesse is the most headstrong Jesse there is. And if you need any proof, just look to the episode Salud when he's actually cooking in the Mexican meth lab, and he literally makes every chemist in there his bitch, getting right up to someone's face, and you know what I mean, getting right up to a professional chemist's face in front of everyone, and being like, yo, y'all don't have standards? Clean this fucking lab. I ain't cooking shit until y'all clean this lab. I'm the man who your fucking boss told you. You know what I mean? Like, all that, just top tier. What else we got here? Let's see. Bryan Cranston was playing another character at the time, but I agree. All they had, yep, I have, yeah. Let's see. Jesse is smart. No needs to apply himself. Let's see. Facts. Yep. Let's see. Plemons' character. That's I will be honest. What's his name? Lux Juice. That song, I think it was, by the artist Dr. Hook, "Spending the Night Together." That song was so iconic that I actually downloaded it and I listened to I listened to it in the car. You know what I mean? It was just, and then you kind of just do the same react. You do the same motion. Try to like signal to the truck drivers. All that, like, it's great, and honestly, yeah, that's a good scene too, because he's just, for him it's just another day, but for Jesse it's like, I'm sitting in a trunk with a dead body, like that's wild. Let's see. Can you do a what if with Jesse Pinkman enlisted in? No, I cannot. No. Why would he? Enlisted in the military, Jesse Pinkman. Like seriously, why would he? Like he doesn't have. I can't. I just no. It's just odd. Some people hated Jesse so much that they wanted the character dead rather than driving away to his new life in Alaska. Honestly, if he would have died, it would have been poetic. Either like living or dead, it still would have been a poetic ending just for the fact of his like, honestly, him dying, and maybe crawling himself away only to maybe be at the feet of a police officer, poetic. But him driving away, also poetic. So I can see both sides. The actor for Jesse's younger brother was an adult by El Camino. Let's see this release. I mean, that triangle guy, I get that. I truly do. But let's be honest here. It could have just been any random kid. It didn't have to specifically be that actor. Because again, I couldn't even tell you the name of Jake's actor. You don't have to tell me either. I don't really need to know. But it just kind of goes to show of like how irrelevant he was as a character. Vince Gilligan, the writer, should have done better with Jesse's brother. Yeah, Jake, perhaps doing a rewrite. Yeah, a rewrite. Yeah. I mean, maybe, but I guess it's too late for it now. Um, where you from? You think? I'm in Albania. I'm in Albania right now. That's where I am. Let's see here. Robert Foster watched all El Camino before he died. He called it a, yeah, that is very true because he was all, even though he died, during the El Camino times, he was still, he still recorded a scene for the last season of Better Call Saul, or the second to last season. I can't really remember. When they had that black and white scene, so there was that as well. Uh, oh man, on one it goes. Let's see, absolutely. Let's see. Abby Feldman wants to know where Unwanted Ghost is from. Ghost, where you from? Boy, California? I ain't doxing. Let's see. Yeah, he became a snitch, a crybaby in season 5. He can't keep getting away with this. That's very true as well. Honestly, Jesse, they really didn't know what to do with him in season 5. I feel like his whole character kind of like went back a few, like he was a hardened badass at the end of season 4, but then season 5 comes and Jesse Pinkman is all of a sudden he's like the middle child between Walter and Mike trying to keep the family together. It's like, oh, okay. And then he's all of a sudden like all kid obsessed. Pause. Like even in the first episode when they're quote looking for the rice and cigarette, and we see Jesse just, oh man, I don't want some kid to find it or whatever the case is. And next thing and then all of a sudden the Drew Sharp thing happens, and it's just like, guy, dude, like chill out. Like that's how I felt about it. That's how I felt about him. I think Jesse would not even get listed for the obvious reasons. Yep, that's very true. Are you what? Are you Cersei? What? Is that the code for Albania? I don't even know what that means. Cersei in Albania? I don't know what that means. First episode of season 5, Better Call Saul. That, yep. Oh shit! Shout out to CJ for the $2. Can you explain what makes better Breaking Bad better than Better Call Saul for me? Oh man, shout out to you, bro. Yeah. Honestly, when it comes to it all, Breaking Bad just has more. I would honestly look at Breaking Bad genuinely like a drug. It's from the very first episode, you're hooked, and the last 5 minutes of that episode, you're just like, what's gonna happen next? When like I think there's only a few episodes that are not like that, but episode 1 bleeds into episode 2, and episode 2 bleeds into episode 3, like all very seamlessly. And for me, like those 3 episodes hooked me, and then of course you had Tuco in there, and like the very end of season 1 is Tuco beating someone to death, and then you're just like, oh, how is this gonna go? And it just kind of had you hooked. And then the characters, of course, Walter, clearly he's not a you watch that evolution of him turning from the helpless family man to this ruthless drug dealer, and you see it in record time, and you honestly see it maybe even in the first episode, and you like, huh, this guy has always been that. And just the twists and turns of the show where you just see the evolution happen, and you're like living vicariously through these characters. So all the like it's just so many angles to it that makes it just a, a rewatchable show, like the most infinite rewatchability you can ever have, versus Better Call Saul, which still has rewatchability in it as well. I feel like the characters in Better Call Saul are just are they're a lot richer than Breaking Bad, that's for sure. You actually can root for the characters in Better Call Saul in a way that you can't really root for the characters in Breaking Bad, because at the end of the day, yeah, Walter, he's awesome and he's Sigma or whatever the case is, but deep down he's a bad guy. He is the bad guy. He's just maybe the lesser of the evil that is Tuco or Gus or Jack, you know what I mean? But for Better Call Saul, he's more of a you can honestly get where Saul's coming from, and you can see where he's at a crossroads and he goes left when he should have went right literally every time. And then of course you got characters like Howard, Nacho, Kim, Chuck, and of course, I don't know if I said it already, but Lalo Salamanca. And you just kind of get a deeper appreciation for the characters when it comes from Better Call Saul to Breaking Bad. And they just work hand in hand. And honestly, I'll say it, like I always said it. If the shows came out in reverse, it just would have been a completely different show. And it's honestly, and honestly, I get this request a lot just to do like, hey, can you do what if excuse me, what if Better Call Saul came out before Breaking Bad? And I would love to, but frankly, it's just I wouldn't know exactly where to go. You know what I mean? Because both shows ended very well. And there's no way I could predict like, okay, if Better Call Saul came out first, because then there's going to be a change in writing. Yeah, of course, yeah, Lalo would be in season two, but for how long? Would Tuco still be arrested? Is Hector still going to be in a wheelchair? Like all these things kind of have to factor in, and it's just hard to even quantify that. So yeah, but long story short, Breaking Bad again is, in my opinion, the better show to watch, or and watch, binge, and rewatch. It's easier to get hooked. Better Call Saul, yeah, it's a bit of a slow burn, especially in the first season. But as the seasons go on, especially from season two on, because season one is slow burn. It's more of a Jimmy. You're kind of being introduced to every single character from Hector to Nacho. Like to to and Saul and Chuck. You're being introduced to everyone. But in season two, I feel like that's when it picks up, and then you're just on a ride from then on. So yeah, CJ, I don't know if that answers your question, but definitely, bro. Oh, let me just give you a little like this as well. Personally, I thought it was just too quick, too much of a 10. Well, personally, I thought Better Call Saul was just too 10-minute long bus crying scene. I mean, come on now. Yeah, I mean that. I mean, if you made it to that point in Better Call Saul, I mean, I think you can understand why she was crying. You know what I mean? And it, I don't know, like I mean, for me, that scene hit. I mean, I wasn't crying with her, but it was just like, damn, yo, I get it. You know what I mean? Like she was kind of like, it's kind of like her soul was dormant for years, and then when she actually came forward with the truth about, to Howard's wife about it, she was like, yo, I'm fucking sorry. You know what I mean? And I guess she couldn't genuinely say that, but it was kind of all catching up with her. So that's how I felt about that. What's good, Nick? Um, Saucy, seriously? Oh, yeah. I'm living in Albania. Um, let's see what else we got here. Do. Better Call Saul had. Let's see. Had to be the digital. Okay. For me personally, I like Better Call Saul because it was. Oh, this is from TJ. For me, I like Better Call Saul because it gives it so much depth in the characters. Let's see mindset, and you see them develop over time and become the amazing antagonist. That's true. Yeah, I completely agree. No notes when it comes to that. I actually watched Better Call Saul first, and with a good friend of mine, and I actually really enjoyed it without knowing Breaking Bad. That is impressive, honestly. Like I wouldn't even. Damn, that's crazy. I mean, if I have like if I have like a nephew, if I had to sit down with my nephew or something like that and be like, check this out, and kind of like force them like, okay, hey, here's an episode a day until you want to, watch 2 or 3 episodes and stuff like that at a time. That would be the way to go because I don't know, man. It's really hard to imagine, like in my opinion, anyways. It's really hard to watch Better Call Saul before Breaking Bad, but it's good, like, and it's honestly like so funny because when a little secret about me, a little peek behind the curtains, especially when I'm like editing and stuff, I would usually put on like episode one of Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad and just have it playing in the background, just to, like time myself to see how long it takes to edit. And usually by the time I'm done, with everything, because I mean, obviously, I'm not maybe editing, X amount of hours straight. I'll sometimes like be editing, and then I'll just look up and just get lost in, like, oh, Walter's choking Crazy Eight with a bike lock, or you know what I mean. I just get lost in it, and I'm watching Breaking Bad all over again. But usually by the time I'm finished editing a video like in full from video, like visuals and audio and all this other stuff, I'm like, huh. I'm done. Like, and then, oh man, I'm on season 5 or whatever. So it's, and I think that's what adds to me, I guess, making my what ifs as what ifable as possible because, I'm always watching Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? What did we got here? Let's see. I gave him the idea on that. What? Hmm. Okay, what else we have here? I haven't gotten a chance. What? I haven't tuned into a stream in a while. How you been, man? Oh, I'm good. Pun X strap. Oh man, yeah. Honestly, I'm good. I'm great. Like just finished editing. Like I said, just finished recording video. I mean, not recording a video, but recording my audio for my next video, which is oh man. Let me see. Let's see. Today's basically if it's basically Halloween. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe sometime early November. Fingers crossed, because I think tomorrow I'm gonna lock in and just get it done. But I'm doing great, like I'm fully healed from my marathon and stuff because I'll be honest, I was out of commission for a good week, because even after I ran the marathon and stuff, I mean I'm gonna brag for a bit. I ran 26 miles. It took 5 hours to do it. I mean, that's not exactly the greatest time, but I did it. And after that, my legs were basically ruined. I could barely walk for, at least a week. And then at the same time, I was fucking sick. Like after like soon as when I got home, took a shower and all this other stuff, like all of a sudden my nose started running. I had the worst sniffles ever. And man, it was just horrible for like honestly a good week. But I started walking more, and now I'm back in the gym, doing my thing, and I'm actually trying to bulk up and stuff. Funny too, because I think I'm going meatless. I've been pause. I'm kind of doing this vegetarian thing for a couple days. I mean, I mean, I don't even know if I can call it like hardcore vegetarian, because I basically just been just it's kind of just been potatoes and eggs, as far as like a meal goes. And then of course I had some oatmeal and stuff like that. But it's just been real chill food, like I don't know what it is either. Because I'll be honest, like after the marathon, I was pigging out. Like I had ate like a couple pizzas or some fried chicken, some really good macaroni and stuff. Like I was going in, but now I'm just like, all right, let me just make some cuts and stuff like that, and start going back to the gym and get it done right, So I'm doing, I mean, nobody asked, but I'm basically running maybe like 5 miles a day on the treadmill just as a little warm up. Then doing some weights and stuff like that, and then after that I'm writing or editing, and that's been how things been for at least honestly at least since like last Thursday. Yeah, because I just want to be in, I just want to be in shape and just kind of be right. You know what I mean? Because hey, and of course I'm drinking a shit ton of water. Speaking of water, where is my water? Hmm. I'll find it later. My mouth isn't completely dry just yet. But yeah, guys, so that's it right here. Oh man, my boy Unwanted Ghost is a vegan. That's awesome, bro. I'll be honest, it's cool. I mean, honestly, for me, it's a little boring because, again, hey, I'm not a big fan of tofu, but I'll maybe have some Alfredo pasta or again, just I had some air fried potatoes the other day, which it was just air fried potatoes with some seasoning. Then I had made some fried eggs and put it on top of that and put a little ketchup on top, and that shit right there, fire. But I don't know. I just can't really, I mean, I'm not gonna commit to the vegetarian. Like, I mean, I'm probably just gonna do it for me like a week or until I get bored or until I'm like, yeah, okay, I think I'm ready to eat now, But right now, I'm just having a good, I'm just having a good time trying to get, I guess old people stuff, or just trying to hit my fiber goals, eating a bunch of chia seeds, eating some vegetables and stuff like that. I like all that good stuff. Um, yeah, potatoes are fucking pretty awesome, because like like maybe like 2 hours ago, I had some chia pudding with just yogurt and chia seeds with a little honey and protein powder, and that shit hit. And right now, being that it's my time, it's 9 o'clock, so I think I'll probably just. I don't think I'm gonna eat anything for the rest of the night. Yeah, because I mean the time change happened over here too, so it gets dark around like 6 o'clock, and it really fucks with my perception. Um, oh man, but enough about that. But enough about my food stuff. I didn't even know where I was going with that. But yeah, I feel great though overall. I feel rejuvenated. I'm like, all right, cool. I feel like I got a little bucket list item off my list just by like saying like, man, yo, I ran a marathon, 26 miles. Yo, that shit is wild. Let me tell you guys, I only had, I don't know if, I mean, again, not to brag, but I will. I only had 3 weeks of training, and let me tell you, I wish I would have had more, and I'm glad. I think next time there is a marathon, I'm gonna be like, okay, I can do it this time because holy smokes, like I didn't prepare at all. I didn't have any gel packs. I didn't have a lot of electrolytes. I didn't bring my own Gatorade. I didn't have any of that shit. I just honestly, I walked to the marathon. I just started to run. The good thing they had little hydration stations where they hand you cups of water and stuff like that. But psh, Jesus, that's that. Let's see. Hey, man, any other shows that you like? Would love you to have your take on another show. At the moment, no. I mean, I do plan on watching Severance, and I watched I just watched the first episode of Welcome to Derry, so there's that. I watched Alien Earth. I was a little disappointed in that. So, and it's funny because I maybe might do something with Alien Earth. I watched Peacemaker. It was pretty trash, you know. And I'm honestly, I was thinking that I don't because I just don't know how people would take that. What I mean, I was thinking about honest, like I kind of maybe wrote like 2 pages of a Peacemaker what if, where I'm just like, yeah, this is like this is how the show should have ended. You know what I mean? Instead of the whole two full music videos plus the intro song and minus the 30. You know what I mean? So I'm still debating on whether I should do that um, or not. Oh snap! I got a bunch of hearts in that one. Huh? Any other TV shows you want to make what ifs on? Yeah, I just said it. Alien Earth is a possibility. But for me, I think it would just only be changing like the last episode because for the most part, I think I liked Peacemaker, but again, the last episodes of both shows were just like really underwhelming. I could not believe how underwhelming those shows were. Like honestly didn't even make sense to be honest with you. Season oh yeah, Invincible season 4. Yeah, I'm counting. Listen, March. Yeah, that shit it's going down. And I still had this video I want to get off the ground. It's not really a what if, but I'm also debating because I did start another channel, but I don't have anything made for it yet. Um, but I'm just debating on how I want to proceed with it, because I like making my what ifs and I like my singular channel and it's great and it's fantastic, but I want to do, I kind of want to just have more of a unscripted kind of video, but I may change that to just like a commentary, like it's like an unscripted I want to do like an unscripted commentary, but I still have this desire to have order in my whatever I make because it makes it easier to edit. But I don't know. It's just hard right now. Have I seen for not what the promo trailer Adam and Eve? Yeah, I seen it. I've seen the promo trailer for Invincible for season 4. It's cool too. Like I those are honestly some of my I look forward to those because I like the fact that one, the animation's good, and two, it's kind of like an episode recap of the whole thing. And and then you also see a sneak peek of what's to come, and clearly there's gonna be Thrag played by what's his name again, Ronan the Accuser, and so I can't wait for it. The Boys is I'll be honest, man. The Boys is not to me, anyways. It's not good. Like it's kind of played. I feel like The Boys been there for too long. You know what I mean? Like it's just been very. It's like, Jesus, you still making this? You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel about The Boys. Because especially, I didn't watch Gen V, but I did see, I watched people recap it and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't watch this. I'd rather watch little 15-minute videos of someone else watching it and telling me what happened. Oh man, but yeah, so I don't know, man. They're not as let's just say they're not gripping me the way they're supposed to these days. You know what I mean? Let's see. What do I think of the first season of The Boys? That was good. It was good, honestly. The playing with especially with the whole, because you didn't. I think I liked it the most just for the fact that you didn't really expect what was happening. From especially from the whole the plane scene. I think is my favorite scene. Like ever. Just for the fact of him, just like them coming in pretending like, oh hey guys, we're gonna save you from the terrorists, and then you laser the control panel and then he kind of just makes a joke about like, I'm not gonna carry this plane, like they're all gonna die, and then you see him, like that is my favorite part. Like maybe of the entirety, because it's just makes sense, but again, when something you can only be so vulgar and so, like, oh man, raunchy for so long before it kind of just gets tired, like that's why I like Invincible, because I feel like, for as gory as the shows is, what the first and foremost, what's leading the show is the writing, not the animation, not blah blah blah, but it's the writing. The writing is amazing. So with that, it's just like, hey, I'm ready for it. Is season 5 of the boys out? I don't believe so. I think there was a trailer or something not too long ago. I'm not really too sure. Let's see. I love the first episode of Homelander. Seems like an actually decent guy. Very true. Very, very, very true. And then of course you see that episode, and then you see what happens to Huey's girlfriend, and you're just like, okay, where's that kind of show, So it all has its moments, One of these days, maybe, but again, like it's just like a steady decline. But and that's why it's like I can't really make what ifs on stuff like that, just for the fact that it's like, because it can go anywhere, because you got people who can basically do anything in the show, and when it comes to stuff like that, it's like, oh man, how do you write around that, which is, I guess, when it comes to the actual writers of Superman or Spider-Man or Batman, the characters who can basically do anything, it's like, man, how do you write someone better than that while also staying in continuity? It's difficult, so you can't really do all. Yes. Look at my cat. She's just like, yo, she's just sizing me up. She's like, yo, what the hell are you doing? What the fuck? That's that's wild. Oh man, that is fucking crazy. Um, yeah, yeah, that's Clee. She's just like 4 years old at this point and small as shit. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Mm. Um, but yeah, yeah. So I don't know, man. But like again, my when it comes to the second channel that I plan on making or want to make and stuff like that, it's just I feel like I've been procrastinating a lot. To be honest, I'll be honest, I've been procrastinating a lot. Because usually my idea was basically, hey, I want to make a what if. I'll make a what if, and then I'll go to my other channel and I'll make like 2 or 3 videos about whatever. But every time I make a what if, I'm just like, oh, I'm kind of just thinking about the next thing, So it gets a little overwhelming at times, But hey, I mean, the what ifs aren't going anywhere, so there's that. Might have to buy, one of these days might just hire some editors just to see how they work. But it's hard, because I'm gonna rant for a bit, but it's hard to think about like, oh man, you know what I got, because it takes about a good day, maybe two, to actually fully edit a to actually fully edit a video of mine and stuff like that, which is fine, but I've got to be locked in. And sometimes I'm just like, man, I want to get someone else to do this, but I don't have that trust factor for someone else to do it. And when I do, excuse me, and when I do, I'm like, ah, man, I remember I found some editor who was just like, yeah, it's going to be like $600 a video. I'm just like, my heart. It's like, dude, no, I just started making like pretty decent money when it comes to YouTube now, and I'm just like, nah, man, I'm not doing that. But at the same time, it could pay for itself, with my time and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's kind of a hit or miss, But I think I'd pay a writer before I pay I I think I'll pay a writer before I actually pay an editor to edit my stuff. I don't have an editor. I'm sorry. Yeah, people are yeah. Howdy, Adam. What's good? Speaking of, yeah, yeah. So I'll definitely pay a writer to write something before then. But even still, even if I do pay a writer, it's not like I can say, "Hey, write me this," because I have people who sent me like test scripts and stuff like that, and I'm just like, man, okay, I gotta change this, I gotta change this. I was like, man, at this point, I might as well just write a whole different script, you know? But I don't know, man. I would do it for free. Yeah, I appreciate you on One It Goes. I really do. I know you would. I hear you in the Discord a lot. Um, but yeah, it's no pressure. I mean, again, it's something that I genuinely enjoy doing. Like it's honestly my favorite thing just to say, okay, I write a script. Then I record that script. Then I edit it, and then I put the visuals in, and I mean, I take, it's a lot. It's a lot of pride in doing it, so it's perfectly fine. I mean, yeah, it may take maybe take like a day or two later, but at the when I get the end result, it's like, man, it was all worth it. And then when of course when I get the comments from you guys basically saying like, yo, this right here was awesome, your best work ever, whatever the case is, keep at it, good work, like that right there is the stuff that keeps me going. So the fact that you 14 folks are here and showing support and showing love to me, it's kind of like the thing that keeps me going and keep the inspiration happening. You know what I mean? Because I'll be honest, man. Again, when I first started my channel, I started doing. I don't know if you guys ever look at my like first videos. They were like movie reviews and stuff like that. My hair was shorter. I was behind a green screen. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be me. But then Breaking Bad and then the final season of Better Call Saul happened, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna do this, and it turned into this. And I'll be honest, I didn't expect anything of it, but the fact that I have, like the 52,000 subscribers and stuff like that, and like it's just like, okay, cool, I'm making money from it, and I'm getting recognition. People saying like, yo, you should be a writer, you should be this, you have a good voice, you have a good talent for this. Like, man, that makes me feel good because I didn't think you know what I mean. I just started something and see where it went, and it went somewhere. So thank you guys. I appreciate you all. Every single one of you guys. Um, CJ, what you talking about here? Breaking Bad would have been a different if it took place in Texas. Okay. Okay. Well, that is I mean, would it be that different though? I'm pretty sure they still have the same filter. How am I doing with the part two of the most recent of your most recent video? Excuse me. I'm making a part two to that. Yes. Well. I'll be honest. I didn't think about it. Finn's gonna crash out, bug, big time. I will make a part two. Um, let's see. I don't know, man. I'll be honest. I haven't thought about it, but I think one of these months, maybe I can't say when, but one of these months, I'll definitely say, you know what, I'm gonna start working on the sequels to some of these videos because there's a lot of sequels apparently. Like a lot of people just like, yo, you got to make a sequel to this video, and I'm looking at the video like I don't even remember what the plot was. You know what I mean? I gotta re-listen to it and be like, oh, okay, So I'll get on it. What if the Salamancas will still be the main Mexico? Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So I'll definitely get on that. It's, I mean, I just made this stuff. Because I'll be honest. Hey, once I put the video out there, I just let it do its thing. I'm like, hey, I don't know what's happening. Don't I mean, hey, a lot of the comments that I do get is like, hey, man, the volume's too low, or hey, man, the volume's too high, and I'm just like, I'm still working it out. I'm still working out the kinks. I don't know. I mean, when I put it in my headphones, it sounds fine. And I basically I guess when I make my videos, I only account for when people listen to it through the headphones. I don't really know what normal volume levels sound like. So I guess it's different for everyone, because maybe some people, I couldn't imagine why, because I wouldn't do this, but maybe some people listen to the what ifs on a speaker or whatever, like I swear, like every time I listen to anything, it's always through headphones. So I just kind of imagine most of the audience is like that. But hey, I'll keep it in mind. I will keep it in mind. Having some sensitivity is different. Oh, okay. Headphones. Yeah, exactly. See, I don't know. But I get it, because I also get people saying like, "Yo, man, I listen to this going to sleep, and sometimes the ads wake me up, and I'm just like, my bad, I'm sorry." All the title said was a video. Chemistry teacher. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Is there a video you want to remake? Honestly, yeah. Shout out to you, Vic Volk. A video that I do want to remake. I may even remake it. Is the what if Lalo beat Gus? I think I got a few different requests on remaking that video on Wanted Ghost, and also somebody was like, "Yo, man, what the fuck are you on? Speak slower. What the fuck?" I'm just like, "Damn, am I really? Is it really that bad?" There's a YouTube making I don't know. Yeah, I want that one. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I might just do it, because I still have I keep all my scripts still in my notepad on my phone, so it's like, yeah, I may just do that. But I just remember when I first made that video, like that shit took me hours to record. And granted, now I'm a more seasoned recorder, so I'm pretty that long, especially considering that I did make it. But I don't know. I guess because and also it's so funny because for me, like I'm the type, even if I were to remake that video, I swear it would have completely different like visuals and everything. And then of course I'll get like the main comment that I'll always get. Is this a remake? Is this a remake? I'm just like, I don't know. You tell me, because I'll be honest, because it'll have completely different visuals. Like the visuals will be different, the audio is gonna be different, the thumbnail would be different. What's the last time on beef was my favorite video of yours. I would love a remake. Okay, okay. I will. I will keep that in mind because trust me when I say, and I think I honestly I might even write certain parts of that over because I know people. I think the funniest comment I get is just like, "Oh man, oh damn, you just killed Jesse literally for no reason." And I'm just like, "Yeah, I kind of did," but it is a reason. I think the story shows the reason. It's like, "Oh man, you're a fucking junkie. I don't need," you know what I mean? So it is a reason for it all, but there's that, but also, so I don't know. Like I will take that video recommendation into consideration and I may just remake that video and that may be the next what if, and I'll just yeah, I may even title it re-upload or something like that, because people are gonna fucking hate me. Hey, what if hangover event? Bro, I swear I hate that too. That's why I put it in my neck, but hmm? This show, like real life, doesn't tolerate criminal stupidity. Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Yeah, I hate when people ask that too. Because let me tell you, I had so many. I mean, I had hundreds of comments basically saying, "Oh, what if Hank opened the bag?" I'm just like, bro, what? Are you fucking serious? Like, why would he? Who would? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think TSA agents open bags. Like what the fuck you got going? Like it's insane to me how many people think that, and it's just like, dude, it's not. You cannot expect that to be what it is. But oh man, but I swear, man, sometimes I just let people go. I don't. I just I'll just leave a heart on the comment and be like, absolutely. Like, hey, I read your comment. There it is. There's a like for you, but I don't understand that fascination when it's like, oh, what you got here? 500,000 cash. Oh, let me go see. It's like, who the fuck? Like, yo, you can have like a bag full of rocks. Like, why would I check your stuff? That's weird. Especially if it's like not the bag wasn't even like halfway open or a piece of it open or anything like that. So I don't know, man. People are strange. Can you do a what if the cavalry came before Jack and his gang hit his not Manius? Yeah, I can do it. I can do that too. But I'll be honest, guys. What's good, Adam? I'll be honest, guys. The what if that I made plan on doing, even though I had something different planned. I'm gonna be honest. It may just be that what if Lalo beat Gus. I mean, it'd be a little easier. It may, it, it may be, it'll be a little easier to just put out. It might come out a little quicker. And oh, man, Kanye fan. Oof, oof. Jeez, sucks to be you right now, bro. But yeah, so it may be that. Let's see. Have I done a what if Gus didn't have the box cutter? Didn't box cut that guy? No, I have not. I would like a what if where Mike would work with the Salamancas instead of Gus. Man, okay, I guess these are some interesting concepts here, guys. Well, let's see if that happens. Let's let's see if that really happens because I'll be honest, no. Let's see, please do a what if Walter was gay. Wow, that's I don't I think okay, well, I guess with appreciate the gift, Ghost. I think with that question, comment, or concern, which is fucking hilarious, I think that may be it for today, guys. Like, he's still what if Walter? That is crazy. With Jesse, oh, of course. Why wouldn't he? You know, the young buck and the old bull. Am I right? Um, that's fine. Um, stupid. Oh, guys, but I appreciate everyone for coming in, everyone for watching, everyone for tuning in with me and kicking it with me for the past hour. It's been awesome. It's been great. Gave me a lot of good ideas and or Hank gave me a lot of cool ideas and I definitely will get started on that. But before then, I have a video to edit. Got some food to eat, maybe. Got some water to drink, definitely. And I will see. Oh my! I will see you. I will see you all in another day. Appreciate everybody. Shout out to you, CJ, for the $2, and shout out to everyone who's in the chat right now. Appreciate you guys. Happy Halloween. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, or if you do, better have a lawyer. Peace out, pieces, and have a good day, guys.